We analyzed the new Pentagon UFO files. The U.S. government put this footage out. It was captured by Navy fighter pilots, and for decades, stories like this were just rumors and secret files. Now, they're being posted on a Pentagon website. Under pressure from Congress, the Department of Defense is trying to start a new era of transparency around what it calls unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP. But what are these declassified files really telling us? Is this evidence of alien tech or something else? We've been digging through the official reports, pilot testimonies, and government analysis to sort fact from fiction. And in this video, we're breaking down the 5 most shocking revelations from this new age of disclosure and what they actually mean.
To really get what's happening now, you have to understand where this all started. The current UAP conversation is built on a foundation of legendary cases that have captured the public imagination for generations. Let's start with the big one, Roswell. For over 70 years, the story of a crashed flying saucer and alien bodies in New Mexico has been the origin story of modern ufology. Many documents from that time are now publicly available, like a 1947 FBI memo from Agent Guy Hoddle. The memo describes an Air Force investigator's report of 3 flying saucers recovered in New Mexico, each circular, 50 feet across, and crewed by 3-foot-tall bodies in metallic suits. Now, here's the crucial part. This memo isn't some new bombshell from the Pentagon. It's been in the FBI's public online vault for years. The government isn't re-releasing it. It's just that these old stories are getting a second look in light of new events. The Air Force's official explanation, detailed in reports like the Roswell Report, Case Closed, is that the debris was from a secret high-altitude balloon program called Project Mogul. As for the bodies, their 1997 report suggested those stories likely came from people misremembering seeing anthropomorphic test dummies that were used in parachute tests years later. It's a similar situation with strange sightings from the Apollo missions. Transcripts and logs, long available to the public through NASA, detail astronauts seeing weird lights and objects. Buzz Aldrin, for instance, talked about seeing a light that seemed to be following their spacecraft on the way to the moon. NASA analysis later suggested it was likely a jettisoned panel from the Saturn V rocket. Other missions reported flashes and streaks, which experts believe were anything from ice crystals to cosmic rays hitting the astronauts' eyes, a known phenomenon in space. So why are these old cases still so important? They created the cultural blueprint for a government cover-up, and they established a pattern that we still see today, a sensational event followed by decades of speculation, and an official explanation that for many people just doesn't feel like the whole story.
Section 2. The modern encounters that changed everything. The game really changed not in 2020, but starting in 2017. That's when 3 videos, captured by Navy pilots, were leaked to the public via To the Stars Academy and the New York Times. They were codenamed FLIR 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast. When the Pentagon officially declassified and released them in 2020, it was a massive confirmation. These weren't grainy photos. They were infrared videos from modern FA-18 Super Hornets. For the first time, the public saw what our top pilots were facing. These videos are so stunning because they appear to show objects doing things that just shouldn't be possible. Public investigators and whistleblowers often refer to a checklist called the 5 observables to describe these capabilities: anti-gravity lift, sudden acceleration, hypersonic speeds without a sonic boom, low observability, and the ability to move through air and water. Think about the 2004 FLIR 1 video, better known as the Tic Tac incident. Pilots from the USS Nimitz carrier group encountered a smooth, white, oblong object with no wings or visible propulsion. Their accounts are stunning. They describe it dropping from 28,000 feet to just above the ocean in seconds, then shooting away at unbelievable speed. While the official sensor data has gaps that prevent a definitive analysis, the eyewitness testimony from multiple trained pilots remains one of the most compelling pieces of evidence out there. Then you have the gimbal video from 2015, where you can hear the pilot's minds being blown in real time as an object seems to rotate and fly against a powerful headwind. One of them just yells, "Look at that thing, dude!"
The leak and subsequent official release of these videos made it impossible to ignore the issue. Congress got involved, and this pressure directly led to a multi-stage policy evolution, starting with the UAP task force and eventually leading to the creation of a formal office, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. This was the moment the UAP topic went from a fringe conspiracy to a genuine matter of national security.
So the government created AARO to get to the bottom of all this. Its official mission is to standardize UAP reporting and analyze encounters across air, sea, space, and land. AARO has been very clear about its focus, treating these objects as a potential national security threat. Are they advanced drones from China or Russia? Are they a glitch in our own sensor systems? Since its creation in 2022, AARO has published reports and maintains a website with declassified files. And their main conclusion, repeated over and over, is that most UAP sightings have boring explanations. According to AARO's first director, Sean Kirkpatrick, the vast majority of cases they review turn out to be airborne clutter, like balloons or even plastic bags, commercial drones, sensor glitches, or natural phenomena. The AARO website itself demonstrates this. It shows a video of a silver orb from the Middle East, which is assessed to be a cluster of balloons. Another case is identified as likely a commercial aircraft. This is AARO's public mission in a nutshell, to take the mystery out of the UAP phenomenon, not to confirm it's anything extraordinary. But that creates a kind of paradox. The office was born out of truly bizarre events like the Nimitz encounters, yet its day-to-day job seems to be finding ordinary answers for them. Which leads to the big question. What about the cases that aren't so easy to explain away?
Section 4. The truly unexplained. The small percentage. And this is where it gets really interesting. In testimony to Congress, officials like Dr. Kirkpatrick have acknowledged that a small percentage of UAP reports remain unexplained and can show signatures that seem anomalous. A landmark 2021 report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence looked at 144 incidents from 2004 to 2021. They could only explain one with high confidence. Of the other 143, 18 were described as having unusual flight characteristics. These are the cases that stay officially unresolved, and AARO's official position on them is simple. We don't have enough good data. This is both a perfectly reasonable scientific stance and a deeply frustrating dead end. The government's own investigators will tell you that the sensors weren't calibrated correctly, the observation was too short, or there wasn't enough corroborating data to make a conclusion. They aren't saying these objects are proof of alien tech, they're saying they're proof of a data collection problem. They acknowledge that trained military pilots and billion-dollar sensor systems are detecting real, physical objects that sometimes appear to outperform known technology. But at the same time, they state there's not enough evidence to conclude anything extraordinary is happening. This leaves the door wide open for speculation. Are they secret US projects? Are they a foreign adversary who has made a shocking technological leap? Or is it something else? The government is giving us the mystery, but holding back on the answers. So, what have we learned from digging through these files? First, disclosure is happening, but it's on the government's terms. They are controlling the story by releasing a mix of explained cases and unresolved encounters, all wrapped in a heavy dose of official skepticism. They've brilliantly shifted the public conversation from, "Are UFOs real?" to, "What is the nature of this national security threat?"
Second, the official position is a carefully built fortress of denial. AARO's 2024 historical report stated it found no empirical evidence of extraterrestrial technology or any government cover-up of it. This is their shield. They can admit the objects are real, physical, and unidentified, but as long as they deny any off-world link, they can manage the conversation and avoid the massive cultural panic that confirmation would cause. Third, the strategy seems to be one of slow, managed acclimation. By letting information out in a controlled trickle, a few videos, an annual report, The government is getting the public used to a reality it spent 70 years denying, that there are objects in our skies that we can't identify. They are normalizing the phenomenon without ever having to explain it.
This is the real takeaway from the new Pentagon files. We are being shown evidence, but we are not being given answers. The government has admitted there's a mystery, but insists it has no extraordinary solution. They have confirmed that something is happening. What that something is, who's behind it, and what they want remains the biggest question of all.